So here's a question we're hearing more and more these days. Can you actually use AI to write your Malaysian will? We're going to dig into this because honestly, the answer is way more complicated and a lot more dangerous than you might think.
Just imagine for a second, a 38-year-old business owner types exactly this into an AI chatbot. It seems so simple, so responsible, right? And when a perfectly formatted document pops out a few seconds later, you can just feel the relief. Phew, job done. At least that's what he thought.
But here's the thing. That feeling of security, it was completely false. That neat little AI-generated will could have plunged his family into a total legal nightmare. What he thought was a smart, easy solution was actually a ticking time bomb. And that brings us right to the heart of the problem, what we're calling the AI will trap. You see, these AI tools, they feel so smart, but using them for something as serious as Malaysian estate planning is a huge gamble. Why? Because they're built on generic global data, not our unique, specific legal system.
Now look, to be fair, AI isn't totally useless. It can give you a basic definition of a will or explain what probate is. But that's pretty much where it stops. All the critical Malaysia-specific stuff, the details that actually make a will legally binding here, the AI completely flies past all of that.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics. What exactly does a generic AI get so wrong? This is where we start to see some seriously dangerous misunderstandings that could literally cost your family everything. Let's break down the biggest ones. All right, this is a huge one. So many of us think our will covers our EPF money. It does not. As you can see, they are totally separate things. In fact, your EPF nomination actually overrides your will for those funds. And here's the real kicker an AI will never tell you. For non-Muslims, your nominee is just a trustee. They don't get to keep the money. They are legally required to distribute it according to the law. That's a massive detail to miss. And then you've got this other massive legal divide that a generic AI just can't handle. In Malaysia, we basically have two different systems running side by side. For Muslims, inheritance is governed by the fixed rules of Faraid. For non-Muslims, it's the Wills Act, which gives you a lot more freedom. A generic program from halfway across the world has absolutely no idea how to navigate these two very different legal realities. And wait, there's more. Here are two other absolute game changers. First up, did you know that getting married in Malaysia automatically makes your old will invalid? Unless you wrote it specifically thinking about that upcoming marriage, it's basically worthless. And second, just like your EPF, your insurance money is separate. It goes straight to the person you nominated, completely bypassing whatever your will says. An AI just isn't going to ask you about these things. So if AI is clearly not the answer, then what is? Well, the real solution isn't just one document. It's what you'd call a coordinated Malaysian plan. It's about having all your legal ducks in a row with different tools that all work together to protect your family, based on our laws. So what does a real plan look like? It's like a set of gears that all have to mesh together perfectly. You need a properly drafted will, of course, but you also have to make sure your EPF and insurance nominations are up to date. You might need a trust or an amana, especially if you have young kids. And for Muslims, you need to understand instruments like hibah and wasiat. The key thing here is that all these parts have to work in harmony. And that is definitely not a job for an AI chatbot. Okay, so we've looked at all the problems and what a proper solution looks like. But what can you actually do right now, today, to make sure your family is protected? Let's turn all this talk into a quick action plan. Here are 4 simple things you can probably do this week. Number 1, log in to your EPF account and check who your nominee is. Is it still your mom from 10 years ago? Fix it. 2, dig out your insurance policies and do the exact same thing. 3, think hard. Did you get married after you wrote your will? If so, you need a new one. And number 4, this is the most important one, actually talk to a licensed professional who gets Malaysian law. You know, when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this one simple truth. Using a generic template, whether it's from AI or some random website, is a huge gamble. And your family's financial security, well, that's just not something you should ever gamble on. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to really think about. After everything we've just gone through, ask yourself honestly, is your family's future protected by a solid, coordinated plan built for Malaysia? Or is it, without you even realizing it, depending on a generic template? The time to find out for sure is now.